Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is not David. Hey, so we had a problem with the recordings that uh, we recorded yesterday. Unless you're really good at reading lips, they weren't going to do well for you because there was no sound. It turns out that my microphone was plugged in, but for whatever reason, the computer wasn't recognizing that the microphone was plugged in. So I know it's working now because my microphone is changing colors as we record. So it's just one of those little things that it wasn't doing yesterday, and it didn't occur to me that it might be a problem. Dave kind of had a half joking response on what I should do about this, which was basically, we'll just post up an old video. And actually, I've been wanting to do that, so I'm going to take him up on it. I had done a read back in February on what will be the signs that the Trump era is coming to an end. And that was one of my more popular videos. And when we did the live stream with Libby back at the beginning of June, she said that we were halfway there. So you may as well just keep going, because you're going to be in the sewer just as long if you go forward as if you go back. So may as well keep going forward. So for entertainment purposes only, we'll just do a little four-carder as are we approaching the end? And then I'll do my superior editing skills and edit this intro with the other video, and we'll see how I did. I just kind of skimmed through it. I think the only thing I probably either I missed or the energy might be changing a little bit was on the Justice Department. I can look at the cards now and I could tell you what I'm seeing now versus those cards. But at the end of the day, the read might still be accurate. We're just not there yet. So let's take a look. How close are we? Are we getting near the end? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Foundation, you got the Three of Swords, Heartbreak, Betrayal. That could be applicable to a whole bunch of different things. Stand by. Okay. The kids were running in and out of the kitchen, so I just wanted to pause it until give them a chance to wrap up what they were doing. So we got the foundation as the Three of Swords. The heartbreak, the betrayal. This can be taken a couple different ways. Not only the actions of Trump, but the actions of the leadership in Congress and our Justice Department, especially the Supreme Court. The lower courts seem to be doing their job quite well. It seems like the Supreme Court is just really quite willing to give Trump all the power he needs to be a dictator. And people are starting to recognize that the institutions are not supporting them the way they're supposed to. It's creating a nightmare situation. The Nine of Swords, lots of anxiety because of it. Then you got the Nine of Wands. We've got lots of actions need to be taken. We're tired. I mean, this is probably like Trump fatigue. It's just, the news cycle it's just an endless cycle of bad news, right? And we just get tired of the fighting. But we have to keep fighting. We can't give up, because that's what Trump is hoping for, that we just roll over and stop fighting. And we just got to double down and keep going. I mean, look at it this way. Look how old that guy is and what kind of condition he's in. If he can keep going, we as sure as hell can keep going. We're younger, we're stronger, we're in better shape, we're more mentally competent. We can do this. So just keep the fight going. Other clarifier, the Six of Cups, that this whole bit of nostalgia, that the good old days weren't always so good. Life back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Yeah, we could look back and there was some good times, but we've also made a lot of progress, and we just don't want to go back. It's an illusion of that. And then energy underneath it is the Seven of Cups, just the level of crazy that we're seeing. Trump's, as we get towards the end of the Trump era, we're starting to see more and more of the crazy. And people are going to take action on it. What else are we going to see? People are going to be unhappy about the choices that have been offered and the actions that have been taken. People are emotionally unhappy. And then we're going to show our strength. And we're going to say, no, we're going to take it back. We're going to take the lion by the mane and we're going to take it back. It doesn't have to be a revolution. It doesn't, it's not axes and pitchforks and torches, but it's going to be, we're taking it back. It's kind of like, think of this as the Pope Leo card. We're going to take it back, but in a more loving, caring way. We're going to be more loving and caring as we take it back. So that's what I've got. Are we getting there? Yeah, we're getting there, but we're not there yet. So we'll get there soon enough. So thank you for sticking around with this. I'm going to link up now this with the video I did back in February. There's going to be a couple things you notice right away. The first thing is I'm not nearly as tan. And the second thing is I'm about 25 pounds heavier. So thanks for sticking with me, and we'll catch you soon. Take care. Bye. Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is not David. So lots going on in the world. What else is new? Trump is trying to buy TikTok, and the Chinese government is kind of slow walking that. And I suspect that the Chinese government's not so happy with Trump, and they may just let the whole TikTok thing fall on its face and not sell it to an American investor just to give Trump the middle finger. Wouldn't that be a kick, right? What else is our good friend Trumpy trying to do these days? Let's see. Doge got some pushback that you cannot go into our payment system, and it appears that Doge's main motivation to get into the payment system was to block payments made to USAID. So I guess Elon's got a little axe to grind there. Let's see. Trump wants to incorporate religion back into schools. He wants to get his head on Mount Rushmore, just more of the same. And, of course, he's floating his idea of going for a third term. Frankly, I think he'd be lucky to make it through 2 terms, much less going for 3. So that's today's reading is going to be basically, how will we know when the Trump era is approaching its end? It's kind of I have no idea where this is going to go. We'll look at the energy around what kind of signs we need to look for, what things we should be paying attention to. We'll look at the energy around the Justice Department, the congressional leaders in Congress, and the Democratic Party. So for entertainment purposes only, we're going to take a look at what are the signs that the Trump era is coming to an end and we're ready to move forward. So stand by just 1 second. Okay, back. I just wanted to get the name of the new DNC chair, which was Ken Martin. Let's see if anything specific is going on with him. So let's just jump right into it. Some people appreciate the lack of chatter. Okay, so the Trump era coming to an end. What are the signs that we should be looking for so that we know that the era is coming to an end? Foundation of the Knight of Wands. A new movement. It's a movement that's moving forward. It's not charging forward quickly like the Knight of Swords, but we've got new actions being taken and they're moving forward, and you can see it happening. The challenge is the Page of Swords, Trump trying to fight back on those actions that are being moved forward. Underneath it all, the Four of Swords. This is going to take some time. We're going to have, there's going to be some thought put behind these actions. All of us would like this to be the Knight of Swords and not have the Four of Swords anywhere in this. But right now, the underlying energy is there was a lot of time spent thinking about considering these actions and how to proceed, and those actions are being proceeded. And Trump is in the meantime, Trump is swinging his sword at everything, trying to fend off these things. In the past, we've got the Four of Cups, not happy with what we're seeing. This could be Congress. This could be the Justice Department. This could be you and me and every other viewer on this channel. There's dissatisfaction with what's being, with what is going on in front of us. There is an offer out there, and I guess that's what they had to take time to think about. The current situation is the Eight of Wands.
when it starts happening, there's going to be a lot of messaging, and it's going to start, you're going to see progress, a lot of messaging going on what's going on and why. It's not going to be behind the scenes. This is going to be out front in your face. Overarching energy is the King of Wands. We're mad and we're not going to take it anymore. You know, the wands are all about actions. It's fire energy. So, you know, we've got the Knight of Wands. You know, the actions are starting. The overarching energy is the King of Wands. This is why we're doing it. We're fed up, we're mad, and we're not going to take it. The lesson to be learned, the Three of Cups. Celebrating the little things. This could finally be the other branches of government coming together and working together and celebrating together. This doesn't necessarily have to be just the Democratic Party. This could be Democrats and Republicans coming together and starting to celebrate victories. Conversely, this card has been consistently read this during the election as the Democratic Party celebrating, and it seems like it's always been the Republican Party that's celebrating. The lesson to be learned is this could be the Republican Party was just celebrating too much, and they weren't paying attention that stuff was starting to happen. They were too busy toasting Trump and all his great ideas. That could totally be where people got fed up. They're just, the man's nuts. The outcome is the Judgment card. Finally, people needed to stand up and take notice. Stand up and be counted. What do you really believe in? So this is, there's actions are going to be taken. They're going to be you're going to see them. They're going to be very clear. And it's time to stand up and be counted. Okay. Don't you love it? It's so specific. It's not like, oh, well, Trump will do this, and then this will happen, and then that'll be the end of the Trump era. Yeah, you gotta love tarot, right? Open to interpretation. It's kind of like the best of Trump. Trump he says just enough, and you fill in the blanks, right? So I apologize if tarot's not so specific. We can probably get more specific with that, right? So let's see. Okay. As I'm shuffling the cards, I'm sure my brother is rolling his eyes, getting really annoyed that I'm shuffling my cards on air. Too bad you're not here. Not David is here, and he doesn't say much. Okay, so as the Trump era is coming to an end, let's look at the energy around the Justice Department. What is the Justice Department doing at this time? For entertainment purposes only. Well, either I'm not good at shuffling, or the Justice Department is the actions that are being brought forth. The challenge is the King of Swords. We told you that you could not do this. You continued to do it. We are now going to take action against you. The Supreme. The Justice Department also gave Trump presidents a lot of immunity, so that could be part of the challenge. There is getting past the immunity. I know we gave it to you, but you're abusing the system. Underneath it is the Lovers. There's agreements. There's deals being made. This is a major arcana, so it's high level stuff. It's not necessarily transactional. This could be, in the big picture, deals are being made saying, no, this is not what we agreed to. We need to come together as a partnership here. In the past, there was temperance. The Justice Department was trying to be balanced, trying to, as a Justice Department should be. And when I say the Justice Department, I don't mean the Department of Justice. I'm talking about the court systems here. Let's not confuse the two. But there was balance, making sure that, there's a lot of emotions out there. The Republicans are cheering on like the Three of Cups. The Democrats are definitely not feeling it. And the courts have to remain as objective and unbiased as they can. We know that we have a problem in the Supreme Court, but we don't seem to have as much of a problem in the lower courts, outside of Judge Aileen Cannon, eh? So in the past, they've been doing temperance. Current energy, the Three of Swords, the betrayal. They could be looking at Trump's mental health. I mean, God bless Libby. Libby always gets the Three of Swords whenever she does a Trump health. So it could be something with Trump's mental health. It could be they're seeing all the crap that Trump is trying to pull and weighing down on the court system and all the frivolous stuff he's doing. And they're getting fed up with this. It could be Trump starts losing a bunch of court cases. Overarching energy is the Nine of Pentacles. The Justice Department, the justice system, it's taking its time, it's sitting back, it's observing what's going on. They have things of value. They could be following the money. Trump and Musk are out there trying to gut the Treasury, and it turns out that the reason why they were trying to do it was to block payments to USAID, which is probably not legal. Sorry, I got a little tickle up my throat here. The lesson to be learned is the Nine of Pentacles. That, the oligarchs and Trump, all the money in the world isn't going to buy you justice. It could be that it just depends on how you want to read this card. Since we're looking at the Justice Department, they could be looking at, we need to, we have a great nation and we have a lot of responsibility, and the Pentacles are things of value, and we bring things of value, and it belongs to everybody. Lately, Dave and I have been kind of looking at that Nine of Pentacles as more like the oligarch card, where just people are enjoying, all the oligarchs and the rich people are enjoying the finer things of life. But since we're looking at the Justice Department, they may just be looking at their role as like, no, we're supposed to make the United States, interpret the laws, make the laws, interpret the laws so that everyone is treated fairly and we all benefit and prosper in this. And the outcome is the Queen of Wands. They are going to be busy. I've basically got the whole set. The only thing I didn't get was the Page of Wands, but I got the whole royalty set there. The Queen of Wands, the Justice Department, the courts are going to be very busy. They're going to start with their actions, and they're going to be very busy right before we start seeing the end of the Trump era. Maybe this is Jack Smith. Maybe they're looking at Jack Smith information, and that starts to weigh on good old DJT. Okay, we're 12 minutes in. How's everyone doing? I got a haircut today. So I'm recording this. It's Thursday, February the 6th. I recorded Friday's video this morning before work. I'm recording this video, which will come out on Saturday. I'm doing this after work. The cat on the wall says that it is 6:15. So, okay. Make sure I'm not trying to rig the cards. I'm just making sure I'm not shuffling them upside down because, reasons. Hey, I just want to thank all of you that leave comments in the comments section. I do truly read all of them. And I recognize many of you out there. I don't always give shout outs, but Fatima Medeiros, she's always leaving me hearts. And then Hilda Mercado's more hearts. My God, if my wife ever saw Hilda's messages, she'd really be she'd be looking at me odd. It's like, why is this woman leaving you so much love? It's like, sorry, dear, you should know of all people, right? Who else? Blind Squirrel. Hope you're doing good, my dear. Sue Fleming, who always leaves me a cup of coffee in the morning. I really do look forward to seeing the comments, and I love seeing some of the same names come up over and over again. Okay, so what is Congress going to look like towards the end of the Trump era? For entertainment purposes only. Okay. Congress's foundation they're reading is temperance. Like the Justice Department, they're trying to strike a balance. That that means some Republicans must be growing a freaking spine. So I guess if we start seeing bone growth in Congress, we will start knowing that Trump's days are numbered. But this is about balance. This is about being fair. The challenge, the Knight of Cups, it could be they're starting to see Trump's mental health degrading, or his grasp of power, and they come forward with an offer. This might not be an offer to Trump. This may be an offer within Congress to start working together. Because, Trump is basically undercutting a lot of Congress's responsibilities, and that's not sitting well with them. They're probably not being publicly vocal, but behind the scenes, I'm sure they're talking about it. Underneath it, you got the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, we're starting to work together, starting to collaborate, starting to come together. In the past, the Star, they just let Trump run with the ball. They were not looking out for the best of democracy. They were just letting MAGA and Trump run roughshod, and Elon. Current situation is the Nine of Swords. This could be Trump's mental health is starting to show. It could also be they're tired of the gamesmanship. They're tired of the crap that they're seeing every day. The destruction of democracy. Overarching energy is the Judgment cards. Some of these cards are starting to pop up again. That was the outcome, right? So the overarching energy is the Judgment card. Congress is finally saying, okay, it's time to stand up and be counted. It's time to have your votes counted. It's time to represent the people. And maybe part of the reason why Congress is finally growing a spine and acting is because the people are starting to stand up. So these marches on the Capitol, these, don't buy anything on Mondays type things. These type of activities may be having an impact right before Trump's era comes to an end. Lesson to be learned, the Four of Wands. It's interesting because the other card I had in there was a celebration card as well. The Three of Cups. It could be, once again, I often see this as Democrats or Republicans working together, especially in Congress. This could also be, Trump was too busy partying and MAGA were too busy celebrating their little victories to pay attention, and it is finally catching up to him. The outcome is the High Priestess. Ask the right questions, get the right answers. Maybe they start finally asking the questions that need to be asked, getting the facts that they need to have in order to move forward and start hastening an end to the Trump era. Okay, so far so good. These are nice positive cards here. Once again, I apologize for the vagueness. That's just how tarot is. I've only been doing this since May, so I'm definitely a newbie. I'm not as skilled as some of the other folks out there, but I do the best I can. I try and be balanced. I try to be honest. I don't know if any of you saw Dr. Lena Rodriguez's video she put out, I think on Wednesday. It's a little shorty. It's like 2 minutes long, but woohoo, was she spicy. And that's how I like Dr. Lena. I like her with a little bit of spice, and she was bringing the spice. So I hope you're doing well. Okay, so let's see what the energy is around the Democratic Party around the time of the end of the Trump era. Okay, hopefully you're all still with me here. Let's make sure we give this lots of views so that it gets out to the MAGA folks. We haven't had a real good video in a while, so maybe this one will get some traction. All right, so let's see. How's the Democratic Party and Ken Martin? What's the energy around them as we see the end of the Trump era? Okay. The Seven of Wands, they're out there defending. They're putting messaging out there, this defensive in nature, fending off the attacks that are being levied at him. Because you know how Trump is. As soon as he thinks that the Democrats are going to throw something at him, he blames them, accuses them of doing the thing first, right? It's just a standard playbook. And there we go. The challenge is the Nine of Swords. The Democratic Party is under a lot of anxiety. They're seeing a bunch of the crap that Trump is pulling, and it's giving it's making them anxious, right? We're all feeling it, and probably that's what they're defending against. They have to keep fighting and fighting, and Trump just keeps coming up with more crap. Underneath it all, though, the Justice card. This could be the court system. I mean, that's more of a literal thing. But what they're doing, or more likely, it's what they're doing, the messaging and the actions they're taking are just in nature. And the actions they're taking are trying to either relieve our anxiety or as a result of the anxiety that's being produced by Trump and MAGA. In the past, the Knight of Pentacles, they've been sitting back and observing. They have things of value, but they're not taking strong actions. And I think a lot of us are wondering where the hell the Democratic Party's been the last, these first few weeks of Trump's administration. Yeah, I can see how that's in the past. Current energy is the Queen of Swords. They are bringing facts. They are bringing the sword of truth, if you will. The Queen of Swords is like, this is what you did. This is why you did it. It's like very factual. It's to the point. It's not harsh, but it's, you're not going to wiggle away from this. They're basically telling you how it is, telling you why you did it and what's going on. Once again, overarching energy, King of Wands, taking actions. They've taken a lot of defensive actions, and we're basically moving forward with our actions. You are not getting away. And this is the reason why we're taking actions on you. You're seeing a lot of overlapping cards, which is telling me that one of two things. Either A, the various branches of government and the Justice Department, whatnot, they're working together. They're working in unison. It might not be a perfect partnership, but they are working together. Or Gary doesn't shuffle his cards well. Lesson to be learned, Two of Pentacles. Just trying to keep a balance. There's a lot of turbulence going on in the background. There's a lot of craziness going on with the red hats, and it's just trying to not get overly anxious, but go ahead and point out what's going on and why it's bad. This could be, frankly, getting MAGA, the messaging out to the MAGA people. And not, because we know that Trump's nuts, but the MAGA folks need to get that information. They need to know the truth, and they need to see the actions being taken and why they're being taken. Outcome is the Tower. Things coming to an end. I don't think this is the end of the Democratic Party. I think what this is the Democratic Party may break down the stranglehold that the Republicans have. But let's read it as the Tower on the Democrats. This could be the old guard coming out of the Democratic Party and the new guard coming in. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. But in this case, you've got a younger, more progressive set of leadership. I think there's a lot of us out there that after they sidelined Biden, we were really not happy with Pelosi and some of the senior members of the Democratic Party because we felt betrayed. And maybe that's what that Tower moment is the Democrats are not only coming together and working with the Republicans, but some of the old guard is time to put them out to pasture because it's a new fight and the rules have changed and the Democrats need to change with it. Okay, I think that wraps this one up here. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to put you on pause for just 1 second. Okay, sorry, I was back. What I wanted to do was just give a shout out to some of the names I recognize. I just kind of breezed through the comments really quick. So, like I said, I really appreciate when you folks leave a comment, and I'm recognizing so many names. I just want to, in no particular order, just some thanks. Helen Helps, who always sends me 2 faces. Cindy Loomis, who always has a wonderful and thoughtful response. I think I know more about her family than my own family at this point. C. Chevy with his LA Dodgers cap. Baldur's Place. Hi, Lily. I love your thumbnail, Lily. Moods of Florence. Thank you so much. Moods of Florence always puts our videos out there on Blue Sky. So if you're not on Blue Sky, it's a social media app, kind of like Twitter, X. Only it's more like-minded people on that. So check it out if you haven't checked it out. We've got a Twin Tarot page, and Dave has his Tarot by the Bay page there. Gumby Pokey, Mary Epperson, Nana Amy. I think it's like you've got a great one. It's like Techno Medium or something like that. It just I had to actually look up your name. And then Joy 3, who's always got wonderful uplifting messages out there. So thank you so much for the comments. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday, and hopefully David will be back soon and we'll have more Twin Tarot messages together. But in the meantime, have a great day, folks. Good to see you. Take care. Bye. Oh, and now I'm going to have to test my editing skills because I forgot the secret card. Okay, guys. So hopefully this works. I'm not very good at editing, but I'm going to try and splice these two videos together. So here we go. The secret card today is the Nine of Cups. This is about hopes, wishes, dreams being fulfilled. Yeah, unfortunately, it's kind of been co-opted by MAGA, and this has been kind of the MAGA happy oligarchs card. But I am not reading that today. Since we're talking about the end of the Trump era, this is all of us with our hopes, wishes, and dreams being fulfilled. Hope you all have a great day, and we'll catch you soon. Bye.